My human has been thinking about changing jobs lately. Her requirements are simple: high pay, flexible hours, room to grow, low stress, and ideally, a boss who understands Lao Tzu's idea of doing less. A lot less. I heard this and rolled my eyes. Humans are very selective about reality. As a cat, I respect the confidence, but I don't understand the math. Hi, I'm Flowey. Today, we're talking about one question. Why do people keep trying to take reality apart and keep only the half they like? They want the salary, but not the pressure. They want freedom, but not uncertainty. They want growth, but not pain. But reality rarely comes a la carte. It usually comes bundled. So why can't we keep what we like and throw away what we don't? To answer that, let's start with an old story. During the Warring States period, there was a cook known as Cook Ding. One day, he was carving up an ox for King Hui of Liang. His hands, shoulders, feet, and knees moved together. The knife slipped in. The flesh opened. The joints separated. And the sound had a rhythm to it, almost like music. King Hui watched in amazement. "How did your skill become this good?" Cook Ding set down his knife. "This is not really about skill," he said. "What I follow is the way." When he first began, he saw only the whole ox. After 3 years, he no longer saw it as one solid animal. Now, he said, he did not rely on his eyes. He sensed the structure, where the bones were, where the tendons crossed, where the joints met, and where the empty spaces opened. His knife did not hack. It did not fight the bone. Between the joints, there was already space. He simply let the blade enter where the space already was. That is why ordinary cooks changed knives every month. Good cooks changed knives every year. But Cook Ding had used the same knife for 19 years, on thousands of oxen, and its edge still looked freshly sharpened. What made Cook Ding remarkable was not that his knife was harder, it was that he could sense the emptiness inside the form. Bone, tendon, and flesh are visible. They can be seen, they can be touched. But the path of the knife came from what seemed to be nothing, the spaces between. That emptiness was not useless. It was the way through. This is very close to Lao Tzu's wisdom. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu writes, 爬其以为器，当其无，有器之用. We shape clay into a vessel, but it is the empty space inside that makes the vessel useful. The wall of the cup is form. The hollow inside is emptiness. The cup can hold water precisely because it is not filled with clay. If someone made a cup and filled in the middle, it might look more complete. No gap, no hollow, no use. But emptiness alone cannot become a cup either. Without the wall, there is no boundary, and without a boundary, nothing can be held. Form gives emptiness a shape. Emptiness gives form a purpose. Only together does the cup become useful. This is where Lao Tzu goes deeper. He does not only see things, he sees the relationship between things. In the Tao Te Ching, he says, 有无相生，难易相成，长短相形，高下相倾. Being and non-being give rise to each other. Difficult and easy complete each other. Long and short shape each other. High and low lean on each other. Long and short do not exist alone, waiting for someone to label them. Put a stick beside a shorter branch and it looks long. Put it beside a taller bamboo pole and it looks short. A mountain peak needs a valley for its height to appear. A wave crest is only a crest because there is a trough beside it. Flatten the trough and the crest disappears too. Things are not always defined by themselves. They are often defined by what stands across from them. This is opposition, and also unity. If you're still here, you're probably the kind of person this channel is for. We don't chase trends. Subscribe if you'd like to come back. The yin-yang symbol shows this clearly. It is not black and white fighting in a circle. It is two opposing forces held inside one whole. Black is yin, white is yang. But inside the black, there is a seed of white. Inside the white, there is a seed of black. Nothing is completely pure. Good fortune may carry risk. Hardship may carry a turning point. Stillness may already contain change. And change may slowly give birth to order again. The line between them is not straight. It curves. Because yin and yang are not dead stones. They move. They shift. They flow into each other. The world is not one color. It never was. Let me tell you a small story. There was once a man who loved his garden. He loved the flowers, he loved the sunlight, but he hated the shadows. Every afternoon, when the trees cast long, dark shapes across the ground, he felt annoyed. So he started cutting branches. At first, the garden looked brighter. Then he cut more. The shadows grew smaller. He was pleased. Finally, he removed almost every tree that blocked the sun. Now the garden had no shadows, only light. At first, it looked perfect. Then the soil began to dry. The flowers bent under the heat. The birds stopped coming. Even the bench became too hot to sit on. The man stood in the middle of his bright, shadowless garden and realized something very late. The shadow was not the enemy of the garden. It was part of what kept the garden alive. Too much darkness can bury a flower, but too much light can burn it too. This is what people often miss. They think the opposite side is there to ruin the thing they love. But sometimes, the opposite side is what protects it, balances it, or gives it shape. The shadow is not the failure of light. It's what keeps the light from turning harsh. This may sound abstract, but it is very close to ordinary life. Why do people suffer? Sometimes it is not because reality is too hard. It is because people want a filtered version of reality. They want peace and quiet, but they don't want to be forgotten. They want freedom, but not consequences. They want growth, but not pain. This is not just greed. Every living thing leans toward gain and away from harm. Who actively chooses pressure, failure, loss, or uncertainty? No one, not even cats. I do not even like baths. But here is the problem. Many of the things we dislike are not necessarily enemies. They are often the half of the whole we keep trying not to see. Less attention is not the enemy of peace. It is the space where peace begins to take shape. Failure is not the enemy of growth. It keeps growth from being pure imagination. Consequences are not the enemy of freedom. They keep freedom from becoming mere impulse. So the real struggle is often not which one should I choose. It is, I want this thing, but I don't want its other half. That is like wanting a cup to hold water while filling in the hollow. Like wanting a rose without admitting it grows thorns. Lao Tzu's wisdom is not telling you to endure everything or give up what you want. It is simply reminding you, for something to exist, it usually has its own way. When you can't see that way, you keep bargaining with reality. So next time you feel stuck in a choice, ask yourself 3 questions. What do I truly want? What comes with it? And am I willing to carry its other half? If the answer is no, then admit this path is not yours. There is no shame in that. Not every rose is worth its thorns. But if the answer is yes, then stop asking it to be all petals and no thorns. As for my human, high pay, freedom, prospects, and easy life, she does not want to let go of any of them. I did not say much. Cats don't do career planning. I am only responsible for reminding her that the can does not open itself. I'm Flowey, a cat who likes to think for herself. Thanks for watching.